All right, so for class this morning, no tears, but we do need your foam roller and then a little weight because we're going to just hold in our frog squat and the weight will help us get into that good position. So just something small, you don't have to pick it up, it'll just be on the ground basically. And if you don't have one, it's fine. And then the other thing is we're going to do a lying hamstring stretch. So having like a mini band will help. Oh, and there is some mini band work. So mini band, foam roller, mug of tears, small weight. Let's go. So we are going to get started with good posture, and we're going to think about our wings. So we often do this wing position when we're coming down, but we're going to stand up nice and tall. Our wings are when we exhale, we're going to make our wings big because we're going to think about getting our shoulders out because we're thinking about getting everything big here. So let's take a big inhale, getting big, exhale. You can relax your wings. Inhale, exhale, whatever, you know, the words, getting the big side. Okay, here we go. Inhale, nice, getting really big across. Getting that relaxed. Let's get 2 more big breaths. I'm already warm. All right. And here's our last one. Big inhale. Nicely done. Okay, so we are going to do hugs up the top here. So we're just going to cross our hands, whichever side feels right for you. And then let's come down into a hinge or a forward fold. So as you do this, I want you to think about you're bringing your hips back as you come down and then relax in this bottom position. Full exhale. Come up and let's switch our arms. So which one is over top? Now, again, think about getting your butt back, push your butt back, getting into that good hinge. Come on down, past your halfway point here, just total relax. Exhale. Good. Let's do one more time on each side. So switch your arms, which one's over which. Big hug here. Push your hips back, butt back, hips back, you know, whatever. Same. And then relax fully here, totally relax. Exhale. And come on up. Here's our last one. Switch your arms. Pushing hips back. Head comes down. Everything's relaxed. Big exhale. And come on up. All right, join me for some step backs. Here we go. Step it back, thumbs come behind you. Heel is coming down. It does not need to touch the ground, but you're aiming that way. So if it can, great. But thumbs are definitely back. Heels are pushing down. Hip can push forward. Nice. All right, couple more. Really reaching up. If you reach too far back, you're going to get a big arch in your back. You can arch your back a little bit, that's fine. But if you're arching your back to the point where your low back hurts, quit it. Don't need to do that one. All right, one more on each side. So here's one. Good. And here's the other. All right, time for a complex move here. So we're going to do a hurdle to a hug to a hinge and then reset and redo that process. So one side at a time. We're going to do 40 seconds per side because these are going to be nice and slow. Let's see it. Start it with that hurdle, one side, hug, yep, and let's do it. And then hinge, good. When you're in that hinge position, so you got that hurdle, you did that hug. When you're in that hinge, get into that position and then squeeze your glute, which means extending that leg a little more, then come up, then you know you're done. So you're not just coming down passively here, but get into this hinge, squeeze, lengthen, then come up. So think of it like 4 things: hurdle, hug, hinge, lengthen. Beautiful. Good morning, Kim. All right. I don't know if I said it, but good morning, Amy, again. If I didn't say it, can't remember now. All right. Last one. Hurdle, hug, and hinge and extend. Go to the other side, everyone. Other side. So same exact thing. Hurdle, hug. Good. We're really working on this balance here. Hinge, extend, squeeze the glute, and do it again. Keep this rolling. Just keep this rolling. Oh, Erin, your pup wants to say hi to me. Good. So no one is falling over. I love this. Makes me very happy. Please do not stop doing single leg things, or else when I come back in whatever form class might come back, everyone's going to be teetering all over the place. Don't want that. We worked hard for this good balance. 5 more seconds. All right. Sometimes I compliment balance and then everyone falls over. That didn't happen. Good. All right. Stopping there. So this, we're going to get into a frog squat. This is the one where I said, if you've got a little weight, this will help. So this frog squat down here, if you want to just get into this position, this gives us a stretch, but like for me, super tight calves. So getting into this position and being able to hold it nicely, I have a little weight in my hand. I can help counterbalance so I can get my heels on the ground and I can not fall backwards. If I get my heels on the ground without the weight, well, I don't even need to show you. I'm here, my heels are not even close. So getting that weight. Now, if you're like, oh, I don't want to hold this is too tough, you can put it down, take a rest, move around, pick it back up. I want you to get in a position that feels good for you, but basically what we're doing is working on mobilizing this position. So getting good mobilization through the ankles, groin. Again, you do not have to hold that position for very long. We're going to stay down here for 15 more seconds. So if you need to move side to side, you can even do it holding that weight. Totally great. But let's finish this last 5 seconds here. Keep on breathing. Good. And you can drop that weight. We're going to stay on the ground here and do some seated figure fours. So have your foam roller nearby because we're gonna move this to roller afterwards. But first things first, let's just get onto our bum. We've got one leg over our other. So you've got your ankle on the knee. And now we're in this figure four position. Let's get our ankle just twirling here. We're going to keep movement in this position. So we're going to be in this position, but it's never going to be still. So right now, this non-stillness is us moving, just moving our ankle. So once you've got one direction going, so you can get the other direction. If you got a little clicking action or moving action, that's okay. We're waking up, got to wake up everything. All right, now let's move by taking this foot, see if we can get it towards the ground. Maybe you can touch the ground. Doesn't matter if you do. If you only get here, that's fine. We're just getting a deeper stretch through this one. Whatever feels good for you, I want you doing that. We're just going to move this up and down, and then we'll switch sides. All right. So keep this moving here. Good. All right, you guys, we saw snow this weekend. First time. Yay. Did not think it through. I mean, we were fine, but just going for a hike. It seemed like it was rainy. Switch sides, everybody, and start with those ankle circles. Then it was a little bit of snow. Yay. And then we were in actually powdery snow. It was so fun. I think Kevy had the most fun because if you've been with her, she is like the body of a terrier, but the soul of a Malamute. So she was quite happy putting her face and body just rubbing all over the snow, even though she was soaking wet, which was hilarious. And so, okay, rolls, ankle rolls are good. Let's get that side. See if you can get your foot down. Good. All right. Anyway, it won't last. Who knows how long it'll be there, but if you're interested in going to see snow, it's about 4,000 feet right now. So you don't even have to go very high to find it. All right, come on up and down. Keeping your back nice and long. So if you're feeling like you're barely able to breathe, or if you're crunching up your lungs, don't do it. Get good extension here. All right, so we've moved through those figure fours. Now let's get our glutes on here. So one side at a time. Let's get back into that figure four position if it's comfortable for you on your foam roller. If this is just not a comfortable position for you, you can absolutely do one side glute rolling without it, totally fine. But I'm going to give us a minute here. So maybe you do the first 30 seconds in this figure four position. Then you could use the other 30 seconds a different way, but just on your glute. When I'm in this figure four position, the one nice thing for me is that I can dip to the side quite easily and then get that glute med, which for me makes me sing poorly executed opera in how it feels on my body. Obviously, I need to do that more, which I did last night when we got home, which was amazing. All right. 30 seconds down, 30 seconds to go. So you can do a pin and stretch. You can keep in that figure four position, whatever you want to do, just making sure you're getting in good deep breaths. If you cannot breathe, if it takes your breath away, don't keep at that spot, please. 10 more seconds, everybody. So we're trying to make sure we can breathe through, sending the signals to your body. Everything's cool here. You do not have to be so tight. All right, go ahead, everyone, and turn the other cheek. So we're on the other side, back to that figure four if you can and want to. If you want to get that side of your butt going for it, let's do it. All right. So again, you should be in a position that feels like, okay, this either feels good, it doesn't have to feel great, right? It's not like, I don't know. This is the kind of thing where you feel like this is contributing to my muscles' good health, right? Maybe it doesn't feel so great, but you know it's a good thing. Okay, that's our 30 seconds down. We got 30 more seconds to go. So keep at this. All right. Good. 5 more seconds. Actually, no, I lied. 10 more seconds. Can't do math. It's okay. We got this. You can do 10 more seconds. Well, now it's 5 more seconds, so it doesn't matter. All right, let's just 3, 2, 1. Let's roll our hamstrings before we put this foam roller to the side for a little bit. So hamstrings, if you have something you prefer on your hamstrings, like a lacrosse ball or one of those orbs, go ahead, grab that. Otherwise, 45 seconds per side. For me, it's really comfortable to do that shearing motion. But for you, might feel more comfortable going up and down or sort of sticking onto a spot, breathing into that spot. Whatever it is that makes you comfortable. It's a little bit hard to do a pin and stretch on this one since you'd have to bring your foot down, which is why people use a lacrosse ball and sit on a chair so you can bend your knee up and down and get that movement through on your hamstring. So laying down and doing your hamstrings does not allow for that pin and stretch, but you can do the shearing motion. All right, so we're going to switch sides in 5 seconds. So finish up, just bring in some blood flow here, warming up that muscle, because then we are going to do a hamstring stretch after this. Other side, other side. Let's go for it. All right. So I put in my calendar, no class next week, because I know that it's going to be so weird when I think about my week, what to do and not have class. It's going to be such a strange thing. So Maria asked me a good question the other day. She said, how are you going to keep up your balance and all the things that you get in class that now you're not going to be doing? Which was such a great question, because I know that you guys are thinking about what to do instead, but I really wasn't thinking about that very much. So thank you for that. I am trying to force Brian 20 minutes every day that we're on our trip or we're away to do something that is keeping us balanced and stretched out and mobile. So we'll see how that goes. Try and videotape some of them as well. All right, put this down. We are going to grab some kind of anything to get our hamstring stretches. So what that looks like for me is I have a pretty strong mini band So I can come up here with this, and we are going to just keep our hamstring up and moving around. So a belt would work, a strap would work. For some of you, if you don't have anything great, you can absolutely just use, your hands behind your knee. That would work also. So let's see what you've got. Go ahead and get into that position. Sorry, I'll show you again. See some of you looking at me. So I'm just holding up my leg here. I'm trying to get my leg extended. Now I'm not locked out, but pretty much extended. And then I am sort of just moving my right leg around in little circles up at the top here. So I'm not interested in anyone screaming in pain at home. I know, Brian, shush. Everyone will hear you. All right, Brian is screaming in pain at home, but we are, as runners and bikers, man, we have tight hamstrings. It's a thing. So it's okay if you feel like, wow, I can't even get my foot anywhere near the ceiling. It's hard to get my leg extended. This kind of stinks, but don't feel like that. Just feel like, hey, this is another tool in our toolkit. We're doing this long hold here because it gives our muscle a chance to relax and know, okay, you're not going to rip me. Just be in this position so we can elongate here. So just keep in this position. You're moving around. Now, go ahead and see if you can get that leg twisted over. So now we're in that hamstring position. You know how we have our knee to, so I've got my right side here. So I'm going to take my leg over towards the left side. So in doing this for me, bending my knee definitely helps. You're just twisting over. See if you can get that foot to touch the ground. And you can bring it back over. Maybe do it again. Knee comes over. So you're still in that hamstring elongated position, but now you're just dipping over to the side and back. Good. Playing around in this position. 10 more seconds. And then we're going to switch over to the other side. So hopefully this feels good. This is something you can do before bed. All right, everyone go ahead. Other side. Other side. So go ahead and get your band onto your foot. Get that foot extended and then just hanging out here. Nice deep breaths. All right. So everyone should feel like you are just relaxed, just hanging out, like you're watching, I don't know, the best, most high quality TV shows, just enjoying. Maybe you're on the beach, listen to the waves, just hanging out here. This should just feel super zen, cool. Keeping that leg moving around. You should feel like some positions are a little bit deeper than others. That's okay. You don't have to stay if it feels like too much. That's why we're just moving it around and subtly. And then time to dip it over. So go ahead and get that leg dipping over. However feels good. Got 20 more seconds on this side. So just keep on moving through. It should feel good for you. And that's it. Now, after we finish this, we're going to stay on our back. We're going to put our mini bands onto our feet and do those leg extensions. So kind of like the dead bugs with our feet banded. So last 5 seconds here. All right, 3, 2, great work. Stay on your back. Get your mini band around your feet. So the mini band should be over your arches. And then go ahead and lie down. Sorry, you're already lying down, but you had to sit up a little second to get, I'm telling myself basically. All right, so we've got our knees facing up to the ceiling, and I want you to make sure your rib cage is facing down to the ground. So think about those two things are opposite, right? So rib cage down to the ground, knees up to the ceiling. So right now you should feel your abs working to hold you in this position. Good. Now, go ahead and extend one leg. The working leg is the planted leg. Come on back and then extend the other side. So I know the leg that's moving seems like it would be the working leg, but we're really trying to hold that leg still that's not working. That anchor leg is really staying as an anchor. Make sure, yeah, if your band is really tight, you might only get a couple inches. That is fine. I switched bands. The band I was using for my hamstrings was really tight. When I use it for this, it's not very fun for me because I only get a couple inches, so I don't like that. I like having a little more extension, so I'm using a different band for this one. So whichever it is for you, keep this up 10 more seconds. Keep that rib cage pointed down. These last couple seconds, make sure your reps are just as good as your first ones. And nicely done. All right, so we are going to do our first set. If you want to get a drink of water or tea, or Amy and Cami might not have seen a sip of tears, whichever. All right, our first set is going to be on the ground. We are going to do two things while you're getting a drink and looking. You can see what we're doing. So the first things first, we're just going to do kneeling hamstrings. So you guys know this one where we're lifting up. We want to get, you can see there's a little bit of hamstring focus here. We often feel like our hamstrings are tight, but often they're also weak. So just activating to start this week. So we've stretched. Now let's get a little bit of activation here. So we're just going to come up and down. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is lying glute medius. You're welcome. Maria, these are your favorite. Maria said these are not hard for her, so I have to give a shout out to that one. So we are in this position. Heel is up. So you can see my foot is angled. My toes are pointing down. My foot is up. And so we're going to come back as far as we can. So you feel your glute med, and then we're just picking up our heel slightly. So we'll do 20 seconds in this position, and then we'll have our hand really bracing us, and we'll just keep this moving. Our leg is not coming up and like in these weird positions, but it's trying to stay in the same plane of motion here. So that, again, that glute med has to work. So those are the three things. Everybody, join me here. All right. So for the hamstrings, it's one side at a time. If you need some kind of mat under your knee, that's totally great. We're going to do 20 seconds per side. I want you to lift and squeeze. Join me. Lift, squeeze, relax. Just keep this going. Whatever feels like you are activating your hamstring, not activating it into an emergency cramp. No need for that. But 20 seconds is quick. We're going to do more on our second round. All right, other side. Go ahead and switch to the other side. All right. I'm seeing this as an opportunity for petting the animals. That's good. If your animals are on their couch, you can get right there. All right. Good. 20 seconds is quick. Not doing a ton. This is hopefully not leaving us super sore. Not going for that. All right. That was 20 seconds on each side. Now go ahead and lie down into our cool 90s aerobics position. All right. So first, we've got our hips stacked over each other. Check is number one. Check number two, toes point down, heel points up. Now let's get our leg back and let's lift. All right, going for it here. So we've got toes pointing down, heels pointing up, leg is behind us. This one is a hard one to set up, but hopefully I've talked you through it enough. Good, just a pulse here. Feel that in your glute meds. These are weak on runners. All right, 5 more seconds. Then we go to back and forth in 3, 2, here we go. So keeping that same plane of motion, really bracing with this arm, keeping your abs really tight here. So you're not wiggling around from the top. Yes, good. Keeping your toes down and heel up. That one's hard for me to do and as I keep moving. Good. And 3, 2, nicely done. All right. So in this lying position, I'm here, but some of you are here, and that's great. Whatever is comfortable for you. This one's more comfortable for me. So anyway, that's where I'm going, but does not matter, whatever you find. All right, other side, here we are, heel up, foot down, leg back, pulse. Here we go. All right, this one's a lot to set up. Oh my goodness, this side's already feeling like What are you doing to me? Great. Keeping that leg back behind you. Even though your hips are stacked, the leg's behind. All right. And 3, 2, leg comes forward and back. Good. You really can brace with that arm in front. It's not cheating. I mean, I suppose if you don't need it, but that's good core workout there. But I want you to make sure the focus is on the leg. Good. Keeping the toe down. 3, 2. Nicely done. All right. Come on back. Come on up. Back to our glute, or not glute, hamstrings. We're going to do 30 seconds per side this time. So getting into good posture, nice and tall, shoulders back. Here we go. Lift, squeeze, lower. Now, it also would work if you were just lifting kind of continuously in this up-down position. So totally up to you. See what feels good. Yeah, Erin's got a little pulse there going. I feel like that would make my hamstrings are crying. So whichever one works for you, do it. 5 more seconds. Nice. And go to the other side. All right, other side. Doing this. All right. As long as you feel it in your hamstring, you got this. Good. Everyone's looking up. You don't need to look down. That will bring you forward. Don't need that in our life. Good. I mean, we all need to move forward, but woo! I'm showing you and then I'm doing it. So don't do that. 3, 2, all right. So now we're going to go back to our glute meets. Instead of 20 seconds, for this one, also 30 seconds. So getting into position, whatever is comfortable here. Turn foot down, heel up, hip stacked, leg back. Here we go, 30 seconds. So come on up. Hopefully you're feeling it in your hip there, in your glute med, the side of your butt there. Just trying to activate these muscles. It's good for avoiding knee pain, keeping good tracking when we're doing other exercises. All right, 5 more seconds, and then we get to start our forward and back here, keeping that foot in the right position. Let's do it. Toes pointing down. Good. Excellent. Keep this moving. Okay, everyone's keeping breathing. Good. Upper body. You feel you're holding your body, you're holding yourself so that leg gets to do the work. Body doesn't wiggle around. 3, 2. All right. Other side. All right. Everyone's got their self braced. Foot down, heel up, leg back. Let's do it. Pulses first. All right. This is definitely 90s workout video or 80s workout video, maybe 80s workout video. Not exactly sure. I don't have the history of aerobics memorized, but I feel like this is that. That's all right. All right. 10 more seconds before we start that movement. Making sure your toes stay down. Every once in a while, check in with that foot position. Let's go side to side here. Good. All right. We are so on top of this PT. You guys, so awesome that we're here doing this. I'm definitely going to be missing this. My legs are going to be missing this. Ryan, don't let us skip it. 5 more seconds. And whew, done. All right. Next thing, get a drink of water, get a drink of tea, whatever you're doing. Next mini set here, we are going to do planks and then some bird dog holds. So our plank is nice tall plank. And I want us to get into this foot comes forward, knee comes forward. And then leg comes back and up, squeezing through the glutes. Then we'll do the other side where knee comes forward, then leg comes up. So now I want you to really focus on when you are coming from here to here. You're not getting into this up dog position, right? We want to stay with our glutes in the same spot. So our hips are not coming up. That is that kind of tented position is not a plank anymore. So see if you can get into a good plank, everybody. Go for it. 45 seconds. So you're just one knee drives and then leg comes back. Let's see it. Nice. All right. Erin and Sarah are in sync and doing it. That's looking good. All right. Maria and Amy, I see the top of your head. Those look great. Excellent work today. All right. Good. There's still 15 more seconds. If you need to take a break, this would be a good time because then you can come back and join us for the final bit. So keeping this going, alternating legs as you go. Knee comes forward, glute gets tight. Knee comes forward. Good. Keep moving through and done. All right. So first thing first was that plank. Second thing are bird dog holds. So you know bird dogs. That's when we're going to have, we'll start with our right arm, left leg. We're going to get into this position and we're going to hold for 30 seconds. So everyone go ahead and join me. I'm going to start the clock now. So what I want you to think about is not letting this be a passive position where your arm and leg start sagging. First, push the ground away. Get your chest away from the ground. All right, so now your abs are working. Now squeeze your, push through your heel so that activates your glute. Now reach with that arm. Your right arm is reaching, so you should feel your lats. You feel it through your armpit and shoulders are all having to work and stabilize. Good. Hold this here. Really, you've gotten into this good position. So let's hold it for 5 more seconds. 3, 2, other side. Well done. All right. So same thing. Other side, left arm out, right leg out. Now let's push the ground away. So now we're really having to stabilize. Now extend through that heel, push through that heel that gets your glute engaged. Now let's take our left arm and really reach it out. Keeping pushing the ground away, neck stays long. You're really just reaching. Good, keeping that good posture. Okay, keep the ground pushed away. It's easy to start sagging down. Got 5 more seconds. You're in that good position. Hold it really well. 3, 2, nicely done. Awesome. Okay, we're going to go through that one more time. So we're starting back with that plank where we're moving through. All right, so we're making sure we activate our glutes on this one. And really, when you're driving your knee forward, see if you can get way up onto your toes and get that knee coming right through your fingers. So get your hands down, thumbs are out, so they're creating a finish line. Let's go for it. Pushing your knee forward, see if you can get it through your thumbs, and then come on back. Good. So for me, that is not natural that my knee would come that far forward. I have to slow it way down to get it forward through my thumbs. That's okay. We don't need to be doing this fast. Got plenty of time to get up onto those toes if you can. Good. All right. 10 more seconds. Finish strong. If it's feeling hard, hold the plank without the leg movements and you are good. But otherwise, 5 more seconds. So let's finish in 3, 2, well done. All right. So hands and knees for those bird dog holds. All right. Let's start with our right arm out, left leg out, getting into position. All right, here we are, 30-second hold. So push the ground away, neck is long. Push your heel back. So you're not pointed toe, but your heel's pointed back. That gets your glute engaged. Right arm, get it lengthened like you're trying to reach for something. Keeping the ground pushed away. You're really reaching for something. Your whole body is working to hold this position. We've got 3, 2, all right. Other side, go right for it. Extend that right or left arm, right leg, push the ground away. Extend with that heel, really pushing through that heel, getting that glute engaged. That arm, instead of sagging down, is reaching forward. So it's not up, it's not down, it's in line with your body. Neck stays long. Keeping this position for 5 more seconds. Good. 3, 2, nicely done. All right. Last thing, we are going to get our bands onto our hands, and we're going to finish with some hip pops because those are fun, right? So we are going to be on the ground, got our bands onto our, you can have them on your wrist or on your hand, whatever feels comfortable. Then you'll get your feet up. What you're trying to do is open up that band so you can hit it with your feet and then let it back down. So you've got that arm open, hit it, and then come back down. So you can see I'm opening and closing that band, using my shoulders and popping up. All right, I see half of you guys are already doing it, so go for it. I've got 40 seconds. The goal is to not let your legs come smashing down, is wherever they start and that up position, they stay there. Yes, looks so good. We're just gonna go through this 2 times. We're gonna do it, have a short break for breathing, and then we'll come back. Nicely done. Don't forget that arm movement. I was just doing it without it. Obviously, you don't need to do it, but if your band is too difficult for you, it might be hard to open and close it, but hopefully you can. 3, 2, all right, 20 seconds, taking a break. Just put your knees bent, so put your feet on the ground, total relaxed. 20 seconds here before we start it back up. So everyone should be rib cage down, breathing, feeling good about themselves. I'm getting all these archives up on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch these as well. All right, is everyone ready to go again? Get our bands up, feet up. Let's do it. Pop those hips. Open that band. Bring those feet in. Good. Okay, keep this up. You are halfway through. If you need a break, you can take a break with your feet up. You can put your feet down onto the ground, whichever it is, but join us back for the last 15 seconds. And then we are gonna roll, roll, roll. Excellent. Popping those hips as high as you can for the last 2 pops here. Pop it up nice and high. Celebrate. All right. Yes. Nicely done. All right. Let's roll our backs because we can and we should and it feels good. All right. So let's start with our low back. We're going to start sort of right around where our pants, the waistline of our pants is, and just a little bit lower. So we did our glutes. So you should feel like whatever was a little bit above that and to our low back, one side at a time, because when we're right on our backbone, that doesn't feel great. So I'm going to give us a minute per side, and then we'll roll the rest of our back. All right, I should have counted how many classes, how many rise and shines there has been, but it's been since I think November of 2020. So someone could probably do that math. Someone smarter than me could do that math, or I could do that math, but you'd think that Zoom could keep that statistic there, but I don't see somewhere where they say how many Zoom meetings you've had in the last whatever. Maybe it's too depressing and people don't want to know how much time they spent on Zoom, but I think it'd be fun to know. I know that Maria keeps track of everything, so maybe you could report out if you have tracked, because you've probably not missed any. You probably missed less than me. All right, 5 more seconds. Then we're going to switch to the other side. All right, go for it. To the other side. All right. Well, you know, while I'm away, I'll still be sending out my weekly email. I'm going to try and include workouts. See if I can do once a week, make some kind of video. I'm trying to convince Brian that we can make a video called doing squats places. It has a ring to it, I think. So he was trying to convince me of other names because doing squats places sounds ridiculous, but I'm kind of hooked on it. So anyway, see if we can get Brian and I doing squats places and have some short videos for mobilization and or run warm-ups, things like that. All right, 10 more seconds on this side, and then we are up to our upper backs, the rest of our backs. But you know, the point was I was saying I'm keeping doing that email. Okay, upper backs. So go ahead and get your foam roller underneath your rib cage, and let's start with the rest of our back. I'm always open for feedback. So hopefully in those emails, when I send something, I always love hearing from you guys. I was hearing from Erin last week on something I sent. I love that so much. So please don't stop engaging with me because I'm not in Portland for a minute. All right, keep that roller going. See if you can get in up to your I almost said roller blades. Okay, all the way up to your shoulder blades, all the way up to your roller blades, and then see if you can get that shearing side to side. That's a good way to get area that does not have a lot of padding, right? Behind us on our shoulder blades. Don't have a ton of padding there. So I find that side to side shearing motion feels good. It really feels effective. Trying to loosen out the skin and fascia and muscle from each other. If it doesn't feel good for you, don't do it. All right, hopefully you've gotten at least a little bit of time on every part of your spine here. I want you to find a spot that feels really good and take 3 really deep breaths there, and then we are done. Our final rise and shine for now. 3 deep breaths, everybody. And then you're going to have to say hi to me. I guess you don't have to. You can do whatever you want, but I would love for you to say hi to me. So take yourself off mute. And cheers. This mug.
50.
50?
I just did a quick count.